Okay guys, so what I want to talk about here is, a big issue that we have at the studio, which is people complaining about, having a bad back, back aching, bar of pain across just a little bit above their hips, and how we can resolve this. Something that can be really common is tightness. Now, muscles are bullies, they pull joints out of alignment. So if you've got tightness, they can be starting to pull your joints out of alignment, too much strain there. It's going to get painful and uncomfortable. So what I've jotted up on the board is just a little process that we use that has basically fixed up a lot of people's backs. Beyond this, you may need to have some physio or regular sports massage just to look after yourself, but this is a pretty simple method we can use. So all we want to do is target the areas which are probably going to affect around your pelvis and your lower spine. Number one, we start off with, we want to foam roll a muscle, and we want to foam roll the entire length of it 10 times. That's immediately going to go into a 30-second hold on wherever we can find an uncomfortable spot. From there, you immediately stretch out the area for 90 seconds, which is a developmental stretch, which is going to increase the range of movement in that area. Once we can increase the range of movement, hopefully it's going to stop pulling on that joint, which is going to start to reduce the discomfort that you experience. So the areas that we want to foam roll, first of all, is the ITB, okay, which we'll show you shortly. That's on the outside of your leg. Now, this area is going to be really difficult to stretch, so all we're really going to do is we're just going to roll it to start. The next area we move into is the piriformis, which we're going to roll, which is the back of your glutes, your bum. And the stretch that we're going to use from that is the pigeon pose. We need to do this on both sides, even if you're having trouble on just one side. And then QL, the muscle just above our pelvis again, and our lower spine on either side is the QL, and we are going to roll that area. I recommend you using a specific roller called a peanut, which we have here. Not too much, 10 to 15 pounds on eBay or on Amazon, definitely worth using. And once we've rolled that area, then we're going to move into stretching the QL, which is a pretty technical stretch, so we need to make sure that we follow the process and we get it right. So then additional to that is we have foam rolling and stretching out your hamstrings, because those certainly can affect your hip joint, and then the same in terms of your quads, which on the front of your legs, which is foam rolling there and stretching out. Okay, so there's an overview. What I'd recommend is that you just rewind if you need to, pause, and review, go over as much as necessary, and then line that up to watching the videos. Okay guys, two types of foam roller. Our standard foam roller here, okay, and we have peanut. This one's a bit specialist. I'd recommend having both. They're not too expensive. I'll share a link to get hold of them, just ask us. Okay, so first of all, we're rolling into the ITB. Little band runs down the outside here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start just above the knee. I'm going to go side on, bring this leg to the front, and then we roll the entire length. I can rotate a little bit inside or outside if I need to, and I want to take my body weight on there, and this is going to start to release. Okay, we need to do it 10 times. Once we've done it 10 times, we hold on the uncomfortable spot, which for me is right there. Now, if you haven't done this before, it's going to be really intense, but the more times that we do it frequently, the better it gets. Okay, so 30 seconds, I'm just timing it there. And all this is trigger point release. It's going to release the tension in the muscles and the tightness. Give it another 5 seconds. It's better to do it too long than not long enough. Okay, once I come off of there, all I do is I'm going to swap sides, do the opposite side, start here, rest down on the forearm and just go the length of the muscle, nice and steady, 10 times. Okay guys, so we have the peanut roller. This shape is, in this case, it's really great for working into our back, which is where we've got tightness. We can use it for our calf and other muscles and so forth, but we're just going to use this in our back today. So, the QL, where is that? Okay, so here's my spine, there's the top of my pelvis there, and it's right in there. Okay, it's like a triangle in shape, and what it does is it controls the base of my spine. It can tighten up if you've done big workouts too heavy, because it wants to protect your lower back, which is, you know, key importance to your spine in terms of movement and walking and so forth. So often when things tighten up around there, it's like a defense mechanism where you've done something unexpected, you moved a weight that was too heavy, you moved house, you did something you shouldn't have, you didn't lift correctly, and that will tighten up. So here's how we start to release it off and relieve some discomfort. So what I'm going to do is get side on. I'm going to put myself into that dip. Now from here, I rotate backwards until it's pressing just above the pelvis into the QL. And you'll feel it immediately. You don't need to travel too far, maybe this far, okay, which is, well, 3 inches, in case you can't tell how far that is there. And then I start to roll, okay? And at first you might think, wow, that really hurts. And it's because the muscle's really tight. It depends on how tight that muscle is. But I can assure you, if you're struggling to walk around and stand up, you'll do almost anything to get the relief in that area. So once we're there, 10 times up and down, okay, gonna hold for 30 seconds. Okay, and it's right on the spot. I really like doing this one because you get some relief pretty quickly, and you know, it works, it really, really works. So once we've done our 30 seconds, okay, which is longer than this, make sure you time it at least, we're ready to do the stretch once it's been released off. Now, a little bit technical here, so we need to really make sure we get this right. So number one, I'm going to bring that foot in, just as though I'm going to do this stretch, which I'm not. Number two, what I'm going to do is press down here, because what this is doing is holding this joint in position so that we can force the stretch around the side. Now, bring the foot in, okay, and it's very important that I get the side of my chest, my rib cage, to touch my thigh, and I don't want it to move away from my thigh. If it does, you're probably going to get stretch in your hamstring instead of getting a stretch around here. So I hold on to the underside there, and I've got my chest touching the side, and I just gently start to nudge away. Now what I might do is press down here and hold for a few seconds until I'm ready to move a little bit further. Okay, and really common with this stretch is that it just gradually starts to increase how much you can feel the stretch on your QL the longer you hold it. If you're not getting a stretch on your QL, you have to stretch out your hamstrings first, because if they're really tight, it can stop you from feeling the stretch in your QL. Okay, now just nudge out a little bit further, and you'll notice the whole time the side of my chest is still touching my thigh. Okay, once we're here, we're going to hold for about 90 seconds. Very often, you're just going to feel massive relief as soon as you stand up, because this area has been released off. Okay, so once we've done that for 90 seconds, and I'd recommend doing this probably twice in a day, morning, evening, if you're having real problems, then we are ready to do the other side. Again, simply side on. Angle yourself away, pressures on the QL, and then I am ready to roll. Okay? As soon as you start touching your pelvis there in terms of the bone, you've gone a little bit too far. And how far we want to come up, well, you'll know in terms of comfort, but I'd only travel about 3 or 4 inches. And then, again, once we've found the spot, after 10 times up and down, we hold for 30 seconds. Okay, from there, we're going to go into the QL stretch on the other side, which is just the exact opposite. Again, rewind, pause the video, rewatch it as many times as you need to until you get it right. Okay, so we come on to the optional stretches and foam rolling. These are the areas that may not be quite as tight, but they can often also be tight and can also influence the control of your pelvis, your QL, your lower back. So if you're not getting joy from the first 3 stretches, then you certainly want to stretch these areas as well. and you probably want to stretch them anyway. So we're starting off with the hamstring, and the hamstring runs behind that knee into your glute, through there. Okay, these are your hamstrings. So what I'm going to do is start just above the knee. I'm going to lift off and I can roll straight through. I can angle to the outside and you'll find out where it's tight. Often it can be tight close to the knee there. From there, if I want to make it even stronger, I just take my other leg off and that increases the weight and the intensity. Okay, what I'd recommend is doing the outside times 10, the middle times 10, the inside times 10. Be thorough, it's worth it. Okay, from there we jump off when we've done 10, which I clearly haven't just there. Next, one leg straight, bring the foot to the inside. I find this a very easy way to do this stretch. If you're very tight in your hamstrings, you might want to just gently push forward like so, or just holding on and tilting from my hips forwards until I get the stretch. Now, if my calf's really tight, I want to point the toes away, which is going to stop it stretching here in preference, and it's going to stretch here. And all I'm going to do is just gently lean in until I get the stretch, and I'm just going to gradually keep leaning further forwards across this 90 seconds. Okay, once we've done that, we swap over, we foam roll, centre, outside, inside with the opposite leg, and then we dive into the stretch. Okay, so final optional stretch is the quads. And the quads are here, and they're called the quads because there's 4 of them. Okay, a really easy way to do this is just roll them as a blanket. I'll show you how to roll them as a blanket in individuals. So, as a blanket, I just get above my knees there, and I'm onto the roller. I'm going to lift my heels up slightly, which is going to intensify the rolling, and the way I go, the length of the muscles. Okay? What we'll do is do that for 10 reps. Now if your quads are very tight, this will be very sufficient just to work. Beyond that, if we need to break it down into individuals, what I would do is take one leg off, one leg on. I start in the centre, lift off and roll. Okay, then I can rotate to outside for 10 reps and inside for 10 reps. Okay, once we've done those, which would be both legs, but you do one leg at a time, you immediately go into your stretch. Laying on the front, knees together, pull the heel in as close as you can, and then we've got the stretch. If I need to, I can lift my knee off the floor a little, and that intensifies the stretch. Again, holding for 90 seconds, and once we've held for 90 seconds, you see a real significant difference in the range. Okay, so once we've gone through that whole process, and it could take you 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how long you spend on it, how thorough you are. As soon as you stand up and walk around, you should start to feel some relief. But the fact is you need to be consistent in this, and you need to repeat it at least once or twice a day for a good time frame, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Once you've done that, you see a real big improvement. Just as standard, you should be having some sort of sports physio, not necessarily physiotherapy. If you've got a real problem, see a physiotherapist, but you should be having some sports massage. Because the same way that you service your car, you need to service your body and make sure that you look after it and it works well, especially with training and our jobs. Okay, so that's the whole process. Follow it along and then comment and just tell me how great your results have been.